Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining. Uh, Thank you, everyone who's joined. I sincerely appreciate your time because I think that's the most valuable resource that we all have. And I'm glad that you all were able to carve out this hour to do some future thinking, to actually talk about the shift that's happening, CPQ and RCA, what challenges it brings to the table, but most importantly, what opportunities it uncovers. So glad you are all here today, which means that you are already thinking about this. Briefly agenda, what we are covering today. So we'll start from the CPQ end of sale, which is basically the prerequisite of all of the hype around the RCA right now, but that's more to it. There's more to it for sure. And this is a prerequisite why it's the right time to consider RCA and to think about what's the best tool for you, specifically for the business. We'll show you the demo. We'll talk about the key differences first, and then my colleague Yuri will show you the demo of the RCA, and we'll have the Q&A block in the end. So feel free to save your questions. And of course, again, if you cannot attend this part, feel free to reach out later and we can discuss if you have any questions on the topic. Before that, I'd love to introduce us who are actually speaking about this today. So I want to introduce my colleague Yuri first. And Yuri is our Salesforce CPQ and RCA expert. He is 13 times certified, which means he spends a lot of time on education aside of actually leading all of the CPQ and RCA projects that we have been implemented and implementing right now. He's leading the courses. He's training as team lead our team who work on implementation of these projects. And aside of this, he's also, which I believe is really fascinating, he's building his own e-bikes. And that's why I think he's so great. We work a lot with manufacturing, and he's doing so well in all of this, like order management, assembling, like orchestration. So that's why I think Yuri has a lot of understanding of the processes that are happening there. Really glad, Yuri, that you are joining me today to talk about the RCA.
Thank you, Maria, for the kind words. And also, you're our greatest account executive who works with the client every day, brings the greatest clients we ever had, and also our RTA deal. So thanks for that, because you give us an opportunity to work closely with new products that Salesforce creates for us. And I know that you really love marathons. You're running every day and you're really passionate about this. So, guys, if you also run, please ping Maria. Maybe you can run together sometime. Yeah. So yeah, Maria is really great running. So she better be on your team if you compete.
Thank you, Yuri, for that. Yeah, that is true. That is basically my full-time job aside of working at Redtag. So I'm also coaching people for that, and I really love that. Same as I love the product that we're talking about today, and which I think is why I spend so much time on researching it, and so that I can bring that later that value to the business. Before that, why we took the liberty on talking about the RCA today. So first of all, yes, we have all of the like foundational basics. We are Salesforce Summit Partner, which is the highest tier of partnership with Salesforce. We've been doing this since 2013. We have a big team of over only 100 developers plus other experts. But what set us aside and what differentiate us is we specialize in multi-cloud consulting. So we provide this strategic and holistic approach to our customers. And yes, CPQ and now RCA is our specialty. And we'll be talking about RCA not only from the point of understanding what it is based on our extensive CPQ experience, we're actually already implementing Revenue Cloud Advanced for our customers. So we have this hands-on experience. And again, and Yuri, who's leading these projects, can speak to it a lot. So this is the real world examples, and we're glad that we can share it today. As a company, our office is in Chicago. We originally started in Ukraine, and I'm personally in Toronto, if anyone here is joining us from Toronto. So glad to meet here. Let's dive into it. So first of all, I would love to start by differentiating this all terminology. When you go to Salesforce's website right now, you still would see all of this: CPQ, RCA, RLM, and let's clarify terminology first. CPQ, I think everyone is familiar with this configure price quote. So this is the managed package product that was acquired by Salesforce, and that is around for quite a few years, and now is entering end of sale phase. What does it mean? No, it's not leaving. It's still around. Salesforce is still supporting it and will be providing support. It means it's not going to be presented to new customers anymore. It's not going to be upgraded anymore. So it will still be there for everyone who has already adopted it at some point. And this is where comes Revenue Cloud Advanced as a next generation solution. And Salesforce hasn't just come out with a new product. They actually spend a lot of time doing extensive research to provide the answer to market demands. And this is what the tool of Revenue Cloud Advanced is. It goes way beyond standard CPQ capabilities. We'll talk about this a bit later. And it combines a lot and solves a lot of issues that were previously there, and everything that was falling through the cracks is now solved with Revenue Cloud Advanced. And the main differentiator between Revenue Cloud Advanced and Revenue Lifecycle Management. So as a person who is also in RevOps and on the business side of things, I would say that I love to think about this as the revenue lifecycle management is actually a strategic framework of all the tools, capabilities, and processes that Revenue Cloud Advanced as one of this tool help to manage and automate and enhance. So Agentforce can also be part of revenue lifecycle management, and integration with the accounting software is also part for forecasting or revenue recognition is also part of the revenue lifecycle management. And I think it's important to really operate this terminology correctly because it shows different aspects of what is important to think about from the business side of things and technology as well. And I'm sure we all heard of and seen all of the statistics about 70% of time salespeople spend on non-selling tasks, how to solve that. So this is where actually Revenue Cloud Advanced and Revenue Lifecycle Management as a solution comes as an end-to-end solution to resolve these issues between not only salespeople, but between different teams that work on the business. But for those who were considering CPQ or were on CPQ and now thinking about RCA, or just want to understand what are the main differences and how to understand what fits best for you, let's talk about key differences. First of all, RCA, Revenue Cloud Advanced, is a comprehensive full revenue lifecycle management solution. As you can see on this picture, configure price quote, CPQ was covering first 3 blocks of the process and now RCA goes far beyond it and covers all of the pieces end-to-end quote to cash solution. It includes contract lifecycle management, order management, billing, forecasting, and revenue recognition. Because it's all automated, it spent much less time on all of these processes, and this results in a much faster time to market for the customers. On the technical side, it supports complex pricing strategies and discounting rule. And yes, I'm not saying that CPQ wasn't doing that, it was too, but it was requiring a lot of customization, much more customization work than RCA right now that it has natively. And one of the examples here would be if you have a product that has different pricing models, let's say you sell it one time and it also subscription based and usage based. In CPQ previously, you had to create 3 different products for these models and to be able to sell this like that. With RCA right now, you create just one product and you have a variety of configuration capabilities to make it work with different types of pricing and all of that. And we come to the advanced billing and subscription management. So this is where Revenue Cloud Advanced is really great because more and more businesses right now are moving into the pay-as-you-go subscription models, usage-based models. And Revenue Cloud was created for that. We work a lot with manufacturing, we work a lot with SaaS companies, professional services, and Revenue Cloud, without any exaggeration, is really perfect tool for setting these scenarios for these industries. Managed package with built-in core, yes, this is a huge difference because CPQ has a lot of capabilities. But when it comes to later integrations or making it customer-facing on a storefront, it has its challenges. Now, when Revenue Cloud Advanced is built on core, meaning it uses same fundamental elements that other Salesforce's platforms, it gives you this unified data model across teams, better and more efficient capabilities for integration, and this 360 customer view that many businesses are trying to achieve now. And it's really hard when you have a variety of tools, manual processes in between them. With Revenue Cloud Advanced, this is now much easier than it was previously with CPQ. User interface and headless API, I would love to talk about these two separately because they're actually 2 big items here. User interface, we have implemented a lot of CPQ, and we've seen how sometimes salespeople or decision makers, they really struggle with CPQ because of it's more like technical inclined side of you. RCA, as we're now showing different demos and building the product itself, it is much more user-friendly for salespeople, which simplify day-to-day use and make operations better. Most of businesses care about the customers and clients and the experience they provide to them, and they do not really spend that a lot of time on it. It's not that prioritized for the internal teams. Revenue Cloud Advanced solve this, and it's so easier to navigate for it for the internal teams. And talking about the headless API, I really love this one because most of the CPQ projects for the enterprise companies that we've built, one of the recent examples would be like LG Electronics. When they want to make this product customer facing, either on the website or Experience Cloud for their distributors and retailers. This is pretty common scenario, right? With a headless API that RCA has, making it available for omni-channel sales, it is pretty straightforward, which is not the case with CPQ because again of the managed package, and different customization, it required much more effort than it's now with RCA. And scalability. So this tool grows with you. We all understand that it is new, it is growing, and we as the one who are actually there every day building it for our customers, not gonna lie, it is evolving. So there are a lot of things change, but we do understand that it has attention, it has investment, and it has focus on the Salesforce's roadmap, which makes it really perspective and attractive for the businesses as of now. And so what decision to make and how to actually understand RCA, is it a time to actually transition to RCA, or is it still okay to be on CPQ? Of course, we understand that businesses who who invested in CPQ, it's going to be a shift for them to move to RCA. So there are a lot of consideration to take in place before making any decisions. And let's talk. First of all, I would say the main question that you need to think about when thinking about CPQ and RCA would be, is revenue transformation a priority for your business right now? If the answer is yes, I would say 99% you should consider RCA. But let's first start when it's okay to still be on CPQ. If your product catalog and pricing rules and sales process is pretty straightforward, there is nothing on the roadmap so big that you would need to expand your catalog, or you're not planning to incorporate new pricing models like subscription-based, it's totally fine. Again, CPQ can handle this as it was doing before. If your CPQ implementation is clean, well-maintained, you do not spend much time and effort on administration of the CPQ, and it was built correctly and everything is well from the beginning, why would you change things that are working, considering that you do not have big plans on the roadmap? It is still okay, and CPQ is going to be working absolutely fine in that case. If you have already integration with billing software, any sort of accounting tools, the most common scenario that we are working with our customers is integrating with QuickBooks. And it's working, and nothing actually, like, the process is clean. Your customers do not have any issues with that, same as your finance or a sales operational team. That means CPQ will still handle this, and it is okay to be still with CPQ. One important item also here is considering AI for the future. If you do not want to incorporate this into your revenue operations, I would say CPQ is also perfectly fine here. But when it's really time to think and dive more into Revenue Cloud Advanced, first of all, if you understand that revenue operations has to change, that there is a big need, internal and from your customers, and challenges with revenue operations. You plan to grow, you plan to change your product catalogs, you plan to expand and add additional formats. This is a sign where Revenue Cloud Advanced will actually help you to handle this correctly. And I would recommend to start from the very beginning, because strategy and architecture is the most important thing when it comes to any implementation, of course, yes, but the Revenue Cloud Advanced for sure. If your revenue operations are okay, but you're looking for a way to enhance and automate this, maybe adding AI functionality and agents helping you later, creating this lifecycle based view. This is where Revenue Advanced come to the play, because again, it provides you with capabilities to not only do configure price quote, but do the contract management, billing, revenue recognition, and all of the steps for the full cycle. If you do face challenges and your customers struggle with renewals, it's not working properly, amendments, you have forecasting, you cannot make any strategic decision based on what you see in your system, and you need real-time data. This is where RCA can help you. And of course, it is important, if you want to think strategically, what's going to happen in a year, in 5, in 10, maybe the solution that you have right now is okay, but you want to reduce reliance on the legacy customization moving forward, and you really want to align with the bigger roadmap that Salesforce has, RCA would be a recommendation here as well. I would stop talking here, and I think we are all really waiting for Yuri's part with the demo. I'll come back for a few minutes in the end. I hope that was helpful, but let's see it from the inside. Yuri, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. Yeah, thanks for a great presentation. So allow me. Can you please stop sharing your screen so I can do so, and we can move to the part where we can actually see a demo. But before that, just 1 minute to have a more overview regarding revenue lifecycle management or revenue cloud advanced. So we have a different pillars, right? So it's a big part of revenue cloud. And first of all, we have composable enterprise product catalog and pricing. So now this is much more easier for us, people who actually work with RCA, who implement this for the customer, to create those products, to maintain the structure, to see those complex bundles, catalogs. And it's more appealing now for the user itself. So it's much easier to work with and actually put the quote together. And for the second pillar, we have transaction management and CPQ. So basically, it's a quote line editor upgraded, and now it's work again with standard quotes, standard quote lines. We are on core now. It's not managed package, and it's much easier and faster to work with this. And also we have contract lifecycle management. It was part of revenue lifecycle management, and now it's part of RTA, of course. So we have a big chunk that dedicated to contracts and clauses. So we have integration with Microsoft 365, and you can even use AI to help you create those clauses. And the first pillar would be ordering and decomposition. This is something new. I'm actually thrilled about, and I want to talk more in details and show you how it works, because it's bringing us far beyond CPQ, standard CPQs that we used previously, and allow us to manage ordering and all this stuff regarding what's happened after we sign a deal. And again, we have a billing and invoicing that's also included in RCA. So we stay in the system, we stay in the one system and allow our customer to pay and collect those invoices. And now let's jump to our demo. So let's see, first of all, our products, right? So what is really amazing here is that I'm actually really love this is called structure. So if you have a bundle products, not a simple, so let's talk about this laptop. So it contains some products inside it. So and we can see actually that structure, right? So we can have like memory inside, we can have computer protection, and it can be included. So you can have any bundle that you want. We can dive in like 2, 3, 4, even 3 to 4, even more if we need like to create so really complex packages or bundling. And we can still see this on one screen. We don't need to go back and forth between those options, features, and trying to understand so what the structure would be for that product. And I really love this part that they added a visual representation of this structure, and we can see and easily maintain it. Another cool feature that Maria talked about, this is our product selling model. And again, like Salesforce doesn't like just move from managed package to core and that's it, right? They are saying how we can bring customer from the sale till the end and receive the payments. So now we have option to sell the products differently. It can be one-time sale, it can be term-based, evergreen, and the same product can be sold in different selling models. And we can define this. So that's really cool feature that we can use. And more or less, this is it for products, but now moving to pricing. So pricing, again, really has updates, right? It's a really big update because previously what we had something called price waterfall. This is a thing behind the scene, and we didn't saw it coming, and we can't really track what's happening. So how we came to this price, right? So what would be a discount, where we started, that's always behind this thing. But now it's actually visible for us, and it's more easy to see what's happened. So let me add just one product here to show it how it looks like. So I'm browsing catalog, I'm on the quote. This is again standard quote. And I have two products. So let me add one of them. Just simply click on add so we can see one product on our quote. So now we have a product and we have our net price that we achieved. But here is the thing. So we can hover over on this price, and we can see how we came to that price. So we started with 1500, then we have attribute discount entries, and we raise the price by $76. So, and anytime for any product, you can go to the quote, hover over and see those details and understand. So what's happening? So in this case, attribute-based discount, we can have like tier discount. There is a lot of possibilities to work with those products and the pricing, and really cool that we can now easily maintain this and understand what's happening, because now instead of price waterfall we have pricing procedure. And a pricing procedure is actually a flow that created by Salesforce, and now admins can take a look, understand what's happening, so see where we came from, what's the condition, for example, for attribute-based pricing, right? So where it came from, right? We can open and see this condition. We can input values. We can easily change, add like new elements to this, and we have predefined, of course. So it's a building blocks for you to build any customization, any pricing you want to. And for example, in CPQ, I would say like really big issue was that we have a starting point, like a list price in most cases, and we can only discount, right? We can go only to the lower price for the price waterfall. But also it was really common case that customer wanted to upprice a price. Of course we have uplift, but it didn't work such well. For example, if you have like a product and then you have a freight, right? You need to put on top that price and appraise because you need to deliver that. And that wasn't really an option in CPQ, and we tried to find a workaround, play around with JavaScript, like QCP script, and that's really involving a lot of development. And now we can just work with flow and implement any pricing procedure that we want. And what's really cool, we can have like different pricing procedure for different type of customers, quotes, or even products. So you can create different pricing procedure, assign this based on some factor, and you will have completely different calculation in cases that you want to, right? And that's why I'm really thrilled about this, because now we have like a lot of tools that we can use, building blocks, and Salesforce every release came with a new comes with a new let's say pre-built procedures, flows that we can use. So it's eliminate also a need to create everything like from scratch, and you have already base to move forward. Let me go back to quote, and now let's just save this, right? This already saved, but double check. And we can click also on a configure. So we have a now cool, stylish flow that can show us a product and can also provide us instant pricing. So we can select like any options for this thermostat. In this example, let's add maybe I want to have Wi-Fi options and increase the memory side. And also, let's say maybe Bluetooth option would be a great one. And you see that our price is actually raising because we are selecting a different options with this thermostat. And this is how you can really add those product, I would say, like shopping cart. So if you go like to any site like Amazon and you add this, so now Salesforce bring this experience to inside Salesforce, inside Revenue Cloud, and we can easily use this. So let's save it and move to the next chapter that I'm also want to show you. So I have here a quote that already accepted by the customers. Of course, there is a part when we generate a document. I won't show it because it's pretty the same that we have with CPQ. It's just Omni Studio that was introduced by Salesforce a few years ago, and it's also applicable for different clouds. And it came for RCA as well, allowing us to create really nice documents for our clients. But let's move now for ordering part, right? So this is the thing when CPQ actually ends, right? Classic CPQ, because we create an order, meaning we have finished quote, and that's it. So we fix it. But honestly, it's not the end of the deal, right? So you just agree with your customer on a product, on a pricing, maybe on terms. But now, when customer paid for that, so what we need to do? Maybe from operational perspective, you need to assemble something or need to move it from one warehouse to another, to send it, and you want to track actually what's happening afterwards. So in Revenue Cloud, we have this option now. First of all, I have activated order. So let me submit this order so we can see what's happening next. So once I submit this order, let me refresh this page and see our fulfillment side. So our thermostat is product, right? So we sell it as one product and that's it. But actually, behind this thing, it consists of some items. In this case, thermostat memory and smart thermostat. So meaning we can do something called product decomposition. So your catalog in a sales catalog and catalog maybe for manufacturing, it's a different catalogs that have connections. And you can define so which product in a sale, meaning what products or items manufacturer need to put together, assemble, send, or whatever is needed. So imagine that you, for example, have some machinery, right? And you sell it from a sales perspective, it's one product. But from actual manufacturing perspective, it's different products that you will need to put together, and you can see this and have it for the fulfillment order products. And for example, you hand over this to the team that will work on assembly that product and then send to the customer. That's great options and update, but how we can actually track if it's assembled, if it's sent. So what happening? We have something called fulfillment plan. So let me click on view fulfillment plan. And I have created a simple plan. So you can do different stuff here. You can actually have like manual tasks as you see here. You can have like easily integration with the external system. For example, let's say we need like to validate all parts, right? And task came to some persons that work on this and they click on complete. Then we need to contact supervisor, right? Maybe in some cases we need to skip this and we have milestone, right? We already somewhere. So we are tracking what's happening with our order. And now we go maybe to warehouse and ask if we have like send a request, if we have this in stock, right? And if yes, maybe we need to move it and we have a response. So in this case, we can receive by API. Again, it's really heavily based on API and you can build any UI that you want to. and we receive that response, okay, it's here, let's move forward. So let's put it together. Delivery submission, fulfillment plan. Yes. Check now if shipment. So you can add here basically steps, whatever is needed. So you can imagine any different scenarios for your business case. But in general, now we have really great ability first to decompose this product and then understand what's behind that from manufacturing perspective and delivering perspective, and then you can track so what's happening with this order. And when customers ask you, so where is my laptop, like it's assembling, you can go into the system, check what's happening, and you can easily respond to that request. And I think that is really cool features that bring us far beyond just simple CPQ. And also, a few words regarding billing, going back now to our presentation. So now Salesforce also allows us to create invoice and invoice customers and allow us to pay to our customers to pay within Salesforce, so we can stay into one system. So we bring the customer from the sales right till the end when we get that money, and we actually implement that order. We can track what's happening with that order. We can decompose product. For example, on our client, we have order decomposition planning for menus. So you can have some meal, right? And then you decompose this for ingredients like, I don't know, like cheese, tomatoes, or whatever is needed. So it's applicable to wide, I would say, different customers and industries, and it's allow us to have like those all possibilities built into one system, and we can use it to achieve those goals that we have. So yeah, and also don't forget that we are again on the cloud, on our platform. We are not managed package, and it also brings us possibilities to work with AI, and AI really helps, and we already have a case when we use AI for quote generation to putting all this together just via agents. So that's it from my side. Thank you, guys, and I'm handing it over to you, Maria.
Thanks, Yuri. Yeah, so we have fewer minutes, and the next slide that I had is actually about the data compatibility, and I would love to take this slide to also answer one of the questions that we have in our QA box, either a transition plan from CPQ to RCA. So let me answer in this way. There is no standard transition plan. There is a structure that we use with our customers who are on CPQ and considering RCA. And that would be, first of all, we evaluate their current CPQ configuration and customization, put it everything into the map of the CPQ. Then we assess its compatibility with a new RCA model. And the next, which is the most important step, is a data mapping that I have on the slide here. After that, we actually create a plan of setting up the RCA and reconfiguring what was previously customized in CPQ now with natively other functionality in RCA, and that's how we plan the rolling out the actual transition. But it is different based on how you were using your CPQ and how effective it is at the moment of the considered transition. And the other item is how are you planning to use the RCA, and what there are so many areas about you maybe don't know yet about RCA, that data mapping and the strategy before it would be the critical step in order to make the right transition. There are core similarities, of course. There are some fundamental objects like prices, like product catalogs, right? That are still there. It's a still tool for revenue operations. And yes, this overlap can be carried over later to the Revenue Cloud. But don't get me wrong, it cannot be just transitioned to the platform. It has to be set up there just in the way that you were using it before. There are, though, the differences to consider because, again, Revenue Cloud Advanced go far beyond the CPQ functionality. And if you want to use it to its full potential, if you want to use billing, if you want to use contract management, there are some new objects and fields that would need to be set up in order, again, to use the everything that RCA provides you with. You don't want to have the extensive whole platform and just use the small piece of it for configuring quotes functionality. So for the critical step for transition path, which is data mapping, I would really recommend to first of all get yourself familiar with what's happening there. Salesforce is on this, so they are rolling out throughout the year 25. They promise a lot of updates and migration related updates for those who do want to go from CPQ to RCA. So we are also on top of that. As soon as we hear anything, we of course are happy to share with you, and also to use the help of those who have knowledge of both CPQ and RCA, because compatibility of both tools is critical, this strategy, so later you would not rebuild in RCA something that is actually already native there and doesn't require customization, for example. Yuri, can you please go to the next slide? That would be the last one before I answer question about the Agentforce. So businesses are all about ROI, and in terms of RCA, I love to say that, yes, it might feel a bit risky to be the first one to try it out, but this is where the most rewards are for those who are willing to do this first. And talk to your Salesforce representative. I know Salesforce has a lot of offers now for those who are considering RCA and transition from CPQ. In the long-term run, this product does have a lot of, again, like these rewards that you can get benefit from in the beginning. So because of better operations and better cost savings from how your team work with each other, all of the automated work and streamlined workflows, it provides the business with cost savings, the revenue growth and forecasting, because in the real-time data, decision makers can have everything in front of them, so they can make better decision and strategic thinking in terms of the revenue generation. We all are on the market. We know how important it is to be faster, better, cooler than your competitors. And why would the business care about this if the tool can solve these issues itself? Revenue Cloud Advanced does give the possibility to faster time to market, and which results in the end in higher customer retention. It goes to every aspect of it. It goes to getting the quote faster to the customer, correct billing, contract management, all recurring billing, and later subscription management. So it does solve this issues that were previously falling through the cracks. And scalability, it grows with your business, and it is ready for AI. To answer the question about Agentforce, both CPQ and RCA can work with RCA, yes. Our Agentforce can also help you to generate quote with using CPQ, for example. The difference comes to how it can be done. So the answer for CPQ, for example, would be it's going to be harder because of the level of customization that CPQ has, and it's harder for Agentforce to work with it. For the prompt and AI readiness from the Salesforce's side, there are already revenue agents that are pre-built, that are there, that can work with Revenue Cloud Advanced, which would not be the case with the CPQ. And thinking about next steps from the future maintenance of the Agentforce and agents who will be helping you with the revenue operations, Obviously, there will be more effort to work to maintain agents who are working with the CPQ rather than those who are natively integrated with the Revenue Cloud Advanced. So I hope I answered your questions. Again, if you have any other questions, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, send me an email. Yes, we will share the slides with you afterwards, and we'll also have the recording of this session. If we have no other questions, so I would love to say thank you to you all for spending this almost 50 minutes time with us, and let's stay in touch. Thank you, everyone.
And you guys.